Hello everybody! Welcome back to another round of chapters of Storm and Fury, which is, honestly, we're getting to the part where things are getting pretty intense and I'm excited. So if you haven't seen the last video, you might want to click over, otherwise if you don't really care, that's fine too. And if you haven't seen any of these videos before, this is a spoiler podcast, or not podcast, vlog video. Basically, we kind of run through what's going on, what happens, and what I think about it. So if you don't want spoilers, I'd recommend reading it first and then coming back and talking, well, listening to me talk about it and seeing if you agree with me. But this week we're doing chapters 16 through 18. So last time I left you off on chapter 15 with Zane just like transforming into a warden and going wild basically. So chapter 16 starts with there are bullets coming through, which we know demons do not use bullets, they don't use guns. They have, you know, claws and their anger to fuel them. They don't need guns. So that's already surprising because why are there guns? Wardens are there to protect the humans. And so why would humans be attacking them? That's already surprising. So my small theory was, do demons control humans? I wasn't sure why the humans would go ahead and start attacking unless they were being controlled. You know, I don't think that they seem to have lived so peacefully, and wardens, they seem to be like a cohesive unit, humans and wardens, and they seem to mingle fine. I wouldn't understand why humans would go and attack them unprovoked, but I guess it's kind of the same thing with people, you know? People start wars unprovoked all the time, and it's just kind of a way of a thing that happens. I just don't really understand it, but yeah. So we find out Zane is a gigantic warden with a wingspan of 8 feet. I just need us to sit here and think about that for a second, because that's huge. Like, I don't even think I want to visualize that, because that's kind of threatening to me. That's kind of scary. That is a big dude with big wings made of concrete. That's a lot. Trinity gets flashbanged. I think that's what it sounded like. It said that the whole world gets really bright while this whole fight scene's going down, and they the attackers come through the wall, break down the wall. So I think she got flashbanged, and for a part human, that is not good. That's not a good thing to happen. Then it mentions that they are actually wearing those same weird porcelain doll masks that Clay was when he attacked Trinity. So that leads us to believe that Clay and whoever these attackers are probably in league with each other, and they at least knew of each other, because there's other mask options, you know. You don't want to choose a porcelain doll. That's a weird mask to pick. So I'm guessing they're probably in league with each other, and I think this is what everyone else in the book is also guessing, which means it could be a red herring, but I want to think that it's not. I want to think they were probably in league and that's why Clay went bad. We don't know. Trinity kills the first guy she sees wearing the mask holding a knife, and it turns out he's a human, which is what we suspected because they had rifles. But this is the first time Trinity ever kills a human, and not saying it's unprovoked, but this is kind of like a big deal for her. She's killed a warden before. Yeah, she killed a warden, she killed Clay, and she killed demons before, but she's never killed a human. And seeing as like their whole code is to protect humans, that's kind of a big deal. It's this is the first time in the book that it seems like anything like this has happened. They had some human enemies, which they talk a little bit about later, but it's never been like a war between them and humans, because they've always protected humans. So I guess we'll see. So Trinity attempts to run to Misha because he's calling for her across the field, but Zane will not let her go because, you know, he's the only logical person here that sees that. My feelings about Zane always flip-flop. I'm like, he's either weird or he's the only logical person. I don't really know what that says about me, but yeah, they're always shifting about how I feel about him. But Zane basically will not let her go, saying, hey, you know, there could still be people with rifles out there and you don't have concrete skin. So he like encases her with his wings in like a wall of concrete. And I just want to imagine that for a second. That's terrifying. You're basically in a concrete tube that can talk to you, if you think about it. And she starts freaking out because she can't see, and she, you know, since she's kind of going blind a little bit, that probably helps that fear, and she's panicking a little, so he finally lets her go. And Misha's over there, so they all meet up. So they find out that the fact that the humans passed the wall means that they killed wardens before they were able to shift, because basically once a warden shifts into that concrete form, they can't kill them with guns. But before they shift, they have human flesh, so they can be killed with guns. So that's not great. So that was the end of chapter 16, is them realizing that there's probably dead wardens, and they just went through that little fight scene with all the humans. So now we're on chapter 17. Chapter 17, we find out all of her friends are okay. Everything seems to be okay, but she can still kind of sense that there's demons out there. We do find out about the Church of God, Church of God's Children, which hate wardens. This is the first time I think this has been mentioned, unless I missed it, but it's, I mean, of course there's going to be some sort of enemy to every character, but yikes. I think it's a big assumption to assume that just human beings could be God's children, in my opinion, because, I mean, not to get like religious or anything, but I think that's a big assumption just to assume that this one species is the only thing that could be made by God. So by calling your religion God's children and saying that you're against wardens makes a big assumption. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it, but yikes. I probably wouldn't have chosen that name, but that's just me. Also, fun fact, we find out that female wardens are not trained, because apparently sexism exists, even in wardens. Can't someone figure it out that, you know, everyone's people? So we find out that not even Jada, who is like the second in command, her family's like the second in command there, basically, she's not even trained. So that's not great. But I'm thinking back to how many times they say that basically Trinity needs to be on constant watch, but there's been a couple times where they've let her and Jada roam, so I'm not really sure why either Jada can't be trained or they don't always have Misha, because that seems like a big thing, is they always want her being watched. So I think that's kind of odd to me that we just now find out that Jada's not trained at all. I don't know about that. So the siren goes off 3 times. They basically have a siren system. First off, I need to talk about the siren system. 2 times means everything was okay. 3 times means it's not good. My thing is, you should have your siren, the less numbers, the worse. because if it only goes off twice, that should be your under attack. 3 times should be safety, because, hear me out. My thing is, what if you're being ambushed and you go to raise the siren and you can only get it 2 times and the guy dies? Now everyone thinks it's fine. I think the less numbers should mean danger, so that you only have to make sure you press it however many times before, you know, you get to the safety point. Because, yeah, I think it's a big assumption to make that they're not going to get killed trying to raise the alarm for everyone else. I think less numbers, danger. But that's just me, it's fine. So siren rings went off 3 times, meaning that there are demons there, which is what Trinity was already expecting anyway. She thought that the humans were just the first wave and then there's going to be demons. So, of course, since the big bad is coming, Trinity decides that she needs to walk outside. Trinity's decision making, basically she says that because there's 2 levels of walls and at that point the door's not going to make any difference. And I get that, but at the same time it makes a little bit of difference because they don't see you when they're running around outside. There's a reason that when there's big trauma issues, everyone goes inside. It's so that they don't see you when they're roaming outside. But of course she goes outside, and Misha goes outside with her, and Trinity blames herself for this attack, saying that, like, if she had used her grace, the demons would. If she hadn't used her grace when Clay attacked her, then the demons would have never came. And seeing as the Clay attack was multiple days ago, and she says that, like, demons cannot resist her blood, I think they would have came sooner if that was the whole reason. I don't think they would wait like 3 days if it's solely because of her blood, unless it was an upper level demon that smelled it and then he wanted to stage an attack, which is a possibility. But I don't think, seeing as all these other camps are getting attacked, I don't think the entire reason is just her. I think that's a little self-centered for me, but that's just me. So the demons have made it to the house. Misha transforms into his like concrete cement body. The first demon they encounter is a Nightcrawler, which all I can think of is the Blue X-Men. But that's just me. I don't really fully know what these look like in my head, but that's all I can think of whenever it says Nightcrawler. But, fun fact. This is another thing we learned for the first time, is that you can kill a demon with an iron sword if you hit, or iron dagger that she uses, if you hit it directly in the vitals. Which, I don't think that was ever mentioned before, because I couldn't understand why she would use, like, why she wouldn't practice, like, up close combat. Like, my entire thing is, you know, you gotta chop the head off, that's my thought, but apparently you can just hit it right in a vital part, which I guess makes sense, but we just didn't know that, so that was fun. So they kill the Nightcrawlers, and then an upper level demon shows up. This one is described as beautiful as an angel. So they fight a little bit, and then Trinity is able to get her in the neck, and oh no, she snaps the demon's neck. Sorry, I forgot this. She snaps the demon's neck, and it's like lolling, you know, it's just hanging there, and still walking around perfectly fine, except like a neck that's like not on its body. Ugh. Gross, not on her body, but then she stabs it in the heart and it bursts into flames. So then a demon with big old black horns, or black wings, it lands directly behind Misha, and Misha gets out of there, grabs Trinity, gets out, brings her into the panic room, and at this point I was like, Satan? But I don't think it's, we find out it's not Satan, but that was my original thought, because we have those talks of, you know, heaven, hell, whatever, that I was like, might be Satan, it's not Satan. So they go into the panic room, and the black wing guy pushes through the door, and the door just falls off. The panic room. It's nothing to him. Basically, the panic room was like Swiss cheese, and he just, you know, it's nothing. It's like paper. He didn't even notice they went into a panic room. We also find out that this dude can teleport. So she goes and throws a knife, and before it can hit him, he teleports out of the way and then teleports directly in front of her. And that was a big no. She's seconds away. She's about to use her grace, and he kidnaps Misha. And, well, Zane comes in. He sees Zane. They recognize each other. She's about to use her grace, kidnaps Misha, and dips out and is gone. And that's the end of chapter 17. Thankfully, I said until the end of chapter 18 this week, but we're going to learn why that's still kind of the worst, and I apparently keep picking ends with cliffhangers, and I'm sorry for everyone in the group. I just went based off of like 6 chapters at a time instead of doing like I didn't read the book, so I didn't know anything about it. I find out with everybody else, and this is the second time that I left everyone on a cliffhanger. It's so bad. But so chapter 18 starts with Trinity sitting in her ruined dress. Jada's there, Ty's there, and a search party went out to try and find Misha. So Trinity is there, sitting there, hating herself for using her grace, blaming herself for her mom's murder, blaming herself for Misha getting kidnapped. And I know she shouldn't blame herself, and I'm not saying it's her fault, but I think they should have trained her to use her grace more. And I know it causes her nosebleeds, but I'm wondering if it's one of those things that if she keeps training it and building it, it's like a muscle and it gets stronger, but she never uses it, and they won't let her use it. So I feel like, though, she needs to be able to know how to use it because it's important, and it takes her so long to work up the ability to use it that people end up getting hurt or dying. So we find out the demon who took Misha, his name is, I'm gonna guess here, but Baal. Y'all can comment down below and tell me how to pronounce it, because I can tell you right now it's probably not right. But yeah, I'm gonna just say Baal, and we're all just gonna have to hope. It's spelled B-A-E-L, so we're all just gonna have to hope. But Baal, we find out, is the king of hell, and can we talk about how sing-songy that is? Because it really is. It's Baal, the king of hell. It just flows really nicely. But I mean, he's a bad guy. He's not good. He kidnapped Misha, but he does have a sing-songy name, and I like that. We did find out that Zane faced him a couple of times in DC, but they were never able to catch him. He was always like one step ahead. And Baal used to pretend to be a false god. He would walk on the earth and basically gather people to worship him. He's not a great dude. Yeah. But now Trinity is starting to suspect that Zane is at fault, because Zane, you know, as they had that conversation a couple chapters ago, he doesn't believe all demons are bad, and since he said that they've been tracking Baal, she's extra believing that, oh, he works with demons, he probably just let him get away and let him kidnap Misha and all this stuff. This is like her thought process now, is that he's the bad guy here, which we don't know anything really about Zane, and I don't think, truly, I really don't think that this was Zane's fault. I have a feeling that he actually knows some good demons or something, but I don't think that like this is something that he intended, and he seems to genuinely care about the other wardens and other people. So I really don't think, I think this is another red herring that we're supposed to believe, but I don't think that this is Zane's fault, truthfully. I don't think there's a lot of, like, it doesn't seem in his character. And I could be wrong, and I guess we'll find out, but I think that I really don't think it was Zane. So, apparently, okay, another thing I have to talk about is, apparently every time they transform into their warden form, they ruin their shirts, which is another, like, cinematic trope about, like, werewolves and stuff that I hate. Because why don't they ruin their pants? Why is it always just their shirt? And I know it's so that you can show off random men's abs during the movie, but if you really think about it, if they're ripping off their shirts, they would be ripping off everything. And then, why don't they just wear tank tops and running shorts all the time? Because first of all, stretchy. Second of all, tank tops go down the middle of your back if you get like the thin ones. So your wings could come outside of it. You get them really big. There's no reason that all your clothes should rip off all the time. That's all I gotta say. I get so annoyed with TV shows where it's just like random shirtless men and you're like, okay, did we have to do this? I really don't think we did. Why is that a trope? I don't understand. But apparently everyone ruins their shirts, so their clothing allowance must be pretty high with, you know, how many times they probably ruin shirts and they have to like keep spares in their car in case they transform because they needed to. I don't know. Otherwise that, or like people are coming back from their guard duty or whatever, like shirts in their hands ripped to shreds. But they're gonna go look for Misha, but they won't endanger other wardens to do so, because if Misha dies, it doesn't affect Trinity. But if Trinity dies, Misha also dies. So they're basically looking at this as, oh, he's just like a casualty of war. Even though he's probably still alive, they aren't going to send more people really to look for it too hard. So Trinity says she wants to go to DC to look for Misha, which obviously Theory is not okay with. He does not want her to go. He doesn't really trust that she'll be okay. You know, as like a, basically, if you think of this as like, this is his child who is 18 years old, and he's, I mean, they're not actually, it's not actually his child, but like adopted child pretty much. Found family situation. Raised her when her mother died. So he's basically sending an 18-year-old who is one of the most important people off into the world. Like, he's not going to be okay with that. That's not a great idea on anybody's part, you know? So Theory says no way. Zane, being the worst, says that he doesn't want her to go because they don't have the resources to babysit her. And this makes her heated and she's not happy about it. So Trinity decides that she's no longer going to hide her secret and just starts to let the whole thing out and starts powering up her grace. And then she's like, you don't need to babysit me, look at this. And then the chapter ends and I left everyone on a cliffhanger again because I'm accidentally the worst and I feel bad. And I'm sorry. But yeah, so there's that. It was really hard for me to shut the chapter. I know most of the people in my group ended up reading the next chapter just so they weren't left on that like horrible cliffhanger, and I feel bad. I don't blame anyone for reading the next chapter because I really want to also, so I can't wait to find out what she is. I think she's still part angel, that's still my guess, and I guess we'll find out in the next video. But that's all for now. If you want to join the Barely Book Club, we should be picking the book relatively soon. But I'll put the link for that in the bio. The next book, I mean. Everyone submits their ideas, and then we vote. So if you want to submit your idea and then help us pick a book, make sure to click that link. If you want to read some of my short stories and my book reviews, then just click, you can check out my blog, the link will be in the bio. But that's all for today. So if you like these videos, please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. But thanks everybody, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!